to work. Good morning, YouTubers. Oh, I have so many things I want to talk about, but I can't seem to get any of them out at the moment. That's the funny thing. These things are always so spontaneous. I don't even know what to call them until after I've shot them. So, you have to excuse me. I have a confluence of topics trying to get out at the same time, and I just need to take a second and collect one thought out of the pile. So all the financial prognosticators are all saying, "Oh, there's a big collapse. It's about to happen," you know. And it's just like this has been going on for months. It was the fiscal cliff. Before that, it was some other clever name for some financial debacle, the LIBOR scandal. And you know, I mean, the central bankers just keep playing, you know, monetary word games, and the sheeple just keep buying the garbage that's being mounted on their head. We are in such big trouble. You know, I mean, it was Tricky Dick who took us ultimately off of that gold standard. There's a reason why they call it the gold standard. When we have a currency that's pegged to a finite resource, it gives market stability. The reason why bankers don't like commodity-backed currencies is because it doesn't allow them to run their wars. When you have a fiat currency, you just inflate it to pay for your wars. This is how it's happened historically. When the Rothschilds took the European currencies off of any kind of standard, then wars of aggression sprouted up everywhere, and the Rothschilds got rich, funding and financing all sides. And it's the same thing here. Once the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, actually that was Carnegie, the J.P. Morgan group, and the Rothschilds got together at Jekyll Island to put in the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. That was the whole point. The whole point was to crash markets and send people's children to war so that they could fund all the weapons and all the machinery. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. And then the United States dollar got set up as the world reserve currency, and ta-da! We had nothing but wars. We've had endless wars in this country. Well, we've always had endless wars in this country, but they were contained by the market forces because we actually had a value system established, a standard. So if you made too much war, you went broke. That's how the Confederacy was crushed. It wasn't through arms, it was through debt, bankruptcy, war of attrition. Look where we're at now. Our fiat currencies. Now all that war machinery that we've been building up for the past 70 years being brought back home and turned on the very people whose backs these things were created. I think it's laughable. I think it's absolutely hysterical. I mean, it's just... so altogether ironic, I don't know what. But just like with what happened to England, who was the vehicle of empire for a good long time, once they went bankrupt, they had to pass that torch on to somebody else. And they did. And it became the United States, who became the policeman of the world through fiat. Literally through fiat. Spreading democracy. Democracy. Democracy for the nation. What a joke. Just look at the Middle East. You see what America's opinion is of democracy. But, oh yeah, I forgot. America doesn't belong to the people anymore. Hasn't. For my entire lifetime and longer. Laughable. We'll continue churning out wars of aggression against every other nation that isn't going along with the New World Order, any nation who hasn't set up a central bank, and any nation who's trying to dig themselves out of the hole of debt that's been created in the wake of these financial monsters. All those things are going to come home now. All of those weapons of mass destruction are going to be used against those who initiated them through convenience. And America will collapse through their fiat inflationary bubbles, their bond bubbles, their derivatives bubbles, collateralized debt obligation bubbles. And it occurred to me why gold and silver have been suppressed through market manipulation, through selling off massive amounts of paper contracts that have no backing. They sell that stuff off in billions, back and forth. And they're suppressing those commodities so that the elite, the rich, can buy it at a lower price, and buy it all up to themselves and hoard it just before the big one comes, you know, the big collapse, the one that's going to send the entire world into chaos. And it's here. It's here. I don't think they have any more monetary bullets, any more schemes. The Ponzi scheme is over, and you know, it's like playing musical chairs. There aren't enough chairs left. I think there's only a couple chairs, and there's a room full of people. So that will be fun, right? That will be fun. And once that's done, the torch will be passed to China. And we'll just see, you know, I mean, how wonderful how China will become the policeman of the earth with their one-child policies. How fantastic is that? So if you're an American, if you live in the Western world, you need to do everything in your power to put yourself in a position where you are no longer dependent on the system as it is. That means getting off of the pharmacological drugs. That means getting into nutrition. That means becoming your own doctor. That means growing your own food, not being so dependent on the supermarkets. Getting out of the convenience mentality, actually working on something tangible instead of playing number games in a cubicle. Cubicle slaves, man. I just cleaned out a cubicle farm in the business district over nearby me. I tell you, I felt like I was walking into the 7th level of hell. I could not get out of there fast enough. I got the job done, I got in, I got out. But I'm telling you, that environment is repulsive to me. That environment makes me literally ill. I hate the idea of being a cubicle monkey. And for what? You know, and for what? What do you get from it? Oh, you get to spend a little time with your offspring here and there, right? You get to come home and watch television, drink beer. The world revolves around some stinking sports team who never wins, full of players who don't know you and don't care about you. Yet, you get more excited over that than you do. You get more excited over that than you do over your God, because it has become your God. I tell you, if I saw people get as excited about their salvation as they do over their stinking sports team, the world would be a better place. The world would be a better place. Think about that. It's crunch time, people. Time to get busy. Because they're not waiting for you. They want you dead yesterday. Keep that in mind.